There was once a boy named Arav. He looked like every other teenager, quiet, polite, always blending in. But inside, he was fighting a storm no one could see. Every day, fear followed him like a shadow. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being seen as weak. He wanted to dream. He really did. To start a YouTube channel, to play guitar on stage, to become someone who inspired others. But every time his heart tried to rise, a voice whispered inside his head, "You're not ready. You'll fail. People will laugh." And so his dreams stayed locked inside. Days turned into months, and fear became his habit. One morning at school, an announcement echoed through the speakers. There will be a public speaking competition next week. Topic: what does courage mean to you? Arav froze. His heart started to race. He avoided eye contact, hoping no one would ask him to join. But deep down, something inside him whispered, "Maybe this is your chance." That evening, he went home and told his grandfather about it. The old man smiled, calm, wise, the kind of person whose silence spoke louder than words. He had seen war, failure, and loss, yet peace lived in his eyes. "So why don't you take part, Arav?" he asked gently. Arav looked down, afraid to even say it aloud. "Because I'm scared, I can't do it." The old man nodded slowly. "My boy," he said softly, "do you know what fear really is?" Arav shook his head. "Fear," said the grandfather, "is not here to stop you. It's here to show you where to go next. When your heart beats faster, when your hands start shaking, that's life telling you, this is where you grow." Those words stayed with Arav all night. He couldn't sleep. They echoed in his head. Fear shows you where your growth is waiting. By morning, he made a decision. He was going to sign up. Not to win, not to impress anyone, but to face himself. When he wrote his name on the list, his friends laughed. "Bro, you? Public speaking? You'll freeze." Arav smiled nervously. "Maybe I will," he said, "but at least I'll try." For the next 2 weeks, he practiced every single day. He stood in front of the mirror, stumbling, sweating, forgetting lines. But slowly, something began to change. He realized that fear wasn't attacking him. It was testing him. Every time his hands trembled, he practiced breathing deeper. Every time his voice cracked, he tried again. Slower, calmer, more present. He stopped aiming to be perfect. He just wanted to be real. Then came the big day. The auditorium was packed. Students, teachers, judges, hundreds of eyes. When his name was called, Arav walked to the stage. His knees felt weak, his throat was dry. The words on his paper blurred. He stood in front of the microphone and froze. Seconds passed. A cough echoed from the crowd. Whispers filled the room. He forgot. And for a moment, Arav wanted to run. But then, he remembered his grandfather's voice. "Fear shows you where your growth is waiting." He took a deep breath, put the paper aside, and said quietly, "I'm not here today because I'm fearless. I'm here because I'm tired of letting fear control my life." The room went silent. Even the judges stopped writing. "I used to think courage meant not being afraid," he continued. "But now I know. Courage means being scared and doing it anyway, because fear will always be there. It whispers lies, it tells you you're not enough. But when you stop running and face it, you realize fear was never your enemy. It was your teacher all along." When he finished, there was a long silence, and then applause. Loud, genuine, endless. Not because it was the best speech, but because it was real. That night, Arav didn't win the competition. Someone else did. But he had won something greater, his freedom. He went home and said to his grandfather, "You were right. Fear doesn't stop you from living. Running from it does." The old man smiled proudly. "Now you understand, Arav. Courage isn't born in comfort, it's born in fear." From that day on, Arav lived differently. Whenever fear appeared, he didn't hide. He listened. He took small steps, joined new activities, met new people, took chances. And each time fear came back, he whispered, "Thank you for showing me where to grow next." Years later, Arav became a motivational speaker. The same boy who once couldn't say a single line in front of his class now stood before thousands, sharing the lesson that changed his life. Every time he stepped onto a stage, he carried his grandfather's words in his heart. Fear doesn't mean stop, it means step forward. And that, my friend, is how Arav learned to live without fear. Because when you stop running from fear, you start running toward freedom. Don't fight fear, listen to it. It's not your enemy. It's your guide.